Here's a trip up the Josephine Fire Road to Josephine Peak. It involves following the dirt fire road from its start along Angeles Forest Highway. This fire road begins about 50 yards north of the junction of the Angeles Forest Highway with the Angeles Crest Highway. It starts with a fairly gradual climb into the mountains. And then, very quickly, we can begin to see where we're headed. And we can also see the very prominent Strawberry Peak. We've been to this one before, but approaching it from a different route. And then we can look ahead and see where we're headed, with the fire road switchbacking its way on up towards Josephine Peak. And here Dale takes a minute to take a look at where we're headed. And we can also look back and see the fire road behind us, along with some pretty fantastic scenery. A little bit hazy, but still not too bad a view. And here Dale makes his way along with good old Strawberry Peak in the background. Then we reach a junction with the trail coming over from Strawberry Saddle. We've been there before on our trip to Strawberry Potrero. And here we can take a look out toward the Mojave Desert. Kind of hazy out there, but still a very, very beautiful day. And then, about 4 miles from our start, we reach the top of Josephine Peak and the end of the fire road. At one time there was a fire lookout tower up here, but it burned down in a fire in the 70s and never rebuilt. This mountaintop is quite small in area, and here I frame Strawberry Peak behind me. And then we can look down and see some of the route that we took to get up here. Dale checks out some of the views around us, and they certainly were beautiful views. We're up here at an elevation of a little more than 5,500 feet. Here we'll take a minute to check out this view. It's pretty much of a 360-degree panorama. There is one structure up here just below the summit, a communications tower, as you can see here. We took some time to stop and have some lunch up here while admiring the scenery. Down below there is the turnaround from the end of the fire road that got us up here. A pretty fantastic sight. But then, as always, it was time to start back down the trail. And then suddenly, in front of us, we spotted a couple of deer. They ran up onto the road, but then just as quickly disappeared. As we proceed along, we can look down again and see the fire road that we're going to be going back on, and some more of the mountain scenery. Then we reach a point that we can look down and see the road down below where our car is parked along Angeles Forest Highway. About there. And then one last look back towards where we've been, and then back to the car after a hike of about 8 miles with a 1,900-foot elevation gain.